Good afternoon and thanks for joining us right here on Midday, Kentucky, everyone. It's a little cold outside today, which I love.
I think it's actually still pretty hot. It's because it's sticky. It's humid out there this morning.
I love the way you just do the opposite to me.
I have to speak the truth.
I know. It's your truth. No, but it is a little cold, though. It's just me, people.
Well, I'm looking forward to like 60s, 50s. I know we both love that weather, but at least what she's saying, back to the 80s by the weekend. That's crazy. Yeah. I think that's why I have it in my mind. I'm like, it's not hot, it's not cold, I want fall.
Can we get a shot on Katie? Have you got a little bit lighter with your hair?
Yeah, I went to wash yesterday. I got some highlights.
I like it. I just noticed it too.
Yeah, I'm just
What do you think?
It's a little lighter. It's not so dark. It's starting
do you like
to look,
it?
I know, it's very Lisa-esque.
Yes, very blonde. I went in there and I said,
please
please give me the blonde bombshell. And this was the best they could do.
So you've been away for 2 days. Welcome back, my friend.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you back on the table. How are you?
Doing good.
I went over and did cooking this morning. As you know, we pre-record all our cooking segments here at Midday, Kentucky. And she decided to do vegan.
Oh, did she?
So I did, my idea last week, which is what you've been seeing this week, was all the beautiful soups.
Yes, and I
now
enjoyed
I
it very
go
much.
over to do the cooking and they do vegan. So I didn't need a thing, which is not such a bad idea, let me tell you people. It's not like I really needed to eat anything. Yeah, so I didn't have as much fun, but we still did all the recipes.
Well, vegan can be really good too. Were there some recipes there?
It seems like a lot of hard work, I say, to make all that food.
Well,
when there's no meat or...
But it's so good for you.
It's plant-based food, so there was no eggs, there was no milk.
Yeah.
But a lot of times that's easier to meal prep because you don't have the dairy or the meat in it. So not that I eat vegan, but I always hear, because we talk about that a lot, trying to plan ahead a little bit for some healthier meals.
So
really I'm excited to see this vegan one, maybe because you can make a big batch of it and it lasts longer. I don't know.
I didn't think about that, actually.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work to prepare, let me tell you.
My problem is when I eat vegan food, I'm not eating it as a meal replacement. I'll eat this vegan quinoa something, and then I'll have like Chipotle. I'm using it as like a snack.
I got you. So you, instead of it being a vegan meal, which is it's supposed to,
it's a vegan
you think it's a snack, so then you can have a meal. I understand. I got you now. Hey, as you know, all month, everyone, we here at Midday, Kentucky, have been very blessed to be sponsored by Georgetown Medical and also the Marquis Centre over at the UK and also Clark Regional, and it's all about breast cancer awareness for the month of October. So they've been sponsoring the show the whole month, and we've been talking about all week and also for the rest of the month, all about issues along with, you know, female breast cancer. But there was something, and I was thinking, typically when we think of breast cancer, okay, we think of women, mothers, daughters, grandmothers, and aunts wearing pink ribbons and shirts, of course. Though it's much rarer, men are also susceptible to breast cancer, and male breast cancer diagnosis rates are on the rise.
Really?
This is what it's pretty scary. The American Cancer Society estimates that compared with the 23,000 new cases of breast cancer in women, 2,300 cases of male breast cancer will be diagnosed by the end of the year.
Oh, wow.
Now, and that's really scary. An estimated 440 men will die of breast cancer this year alone.
Wow, I did not know those
People
statistics.
forget about that. Now, here, let me just tell you, with all the ladies sitting at home watching the show, and we also know we have male viewers as well because they do write in. And I just want to say that you do need to do self-checking. Do you know what I mean? Just like women do. You shouldn't just leave it alone. And I want to bring this up. And the reason why is because this is Janelle Seeger from Louisville and Kentucky who did this study. And she says, the lack of tissue in male breasts is both a blessing and a curse because male breast tissue is less dense, okay? It can be easier to detect small masses. But the lack of tissue, everyone, also means that cancer can grow faster, reaching the nipple, skin, chest muscle, or lymph nodes more quickly. In many cases, by the time a man's breast cancer is detected, it has already spread to other areas of the body.
Wow.
So it is seriously something that you should check. We're going to do some interviews about this throughout the month because, you know, we're talking about breast cancer for women, and I think it's really important that we discuss it as men as well.
Absolutely.
And I also want to tell you this story, and the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because a friend of mine lost an awful amount of weight in Australia, a guy. He had gastric bypass surgery. He lost like 200 pounds. He lost all this weight. Then, I don't know why, he said his chest was a little sore. So, him being a little paranoid, he started checking himself for lumps. He never heard of breast cancer for men, had breast cancer.
Oh my goodness.
Do you know what I mean? Lucky he's still alive, caught it in time, would never have known if he hadn't lost the weight.
Well, I think that's something we should definitely do, get one of these doctors or some of our sponsors to come in and talk about self-checks also for men, because I think as women we go to our yearly appointments and that's everything that our doctor is telling us. We have a check, but they're also saying, are you self-checking, showing you specifically what to look for, and you know, men don't get that yearly education or education ever really what to feel for, because like you said, there's so much tissue there, you don't know what to feel for.
Not as much tissue.
So I think, but in the area, so you may feel like you don't know if it's a lump or if it's tissue. And I think that'd be some good tips to get.
I have to be honest with you, I've never done that. I wouldn't know what to feel for. I don't even know what it feels like if I'm going to check.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we need to talk about and talk to the hospital about too.
Yeah, because we've got a segment coming up later. I think it's tomorrow.
It is.
You went over and did a mammogram.
I did.
For us.
I did over at Clark County.
And
you know, curious, real quick, did it say at all with men if their mothers were diagnosed with breast cancer?
Oh, actually, no. I didn't see any of that in this article.
Yeah,
but that's actually a good thing to find out whether it's hereditary.
Right.
We do know that with men, if your father, as you know, my father's just been diagnosed with colon cancer and now it's in his liver, and they want me to go and have a colonoscopy to check, even though I'm not old enough to do that.
Yeah.
But they said because, you know, my father has it and we don't know how long he had it for, so it's something that I should go and do.
Definitely.
So maybe breast cancer is hereditary in men as well. I don't know those answers yet, but we should find that out. Something that we brought up, there's a lot of new laws that are coming out lately, and we've got another one that we're going to discuss tomorrow. But this is something that you found, and it's got a lot to do with HIV.
Yes.
So what's the story?
Here it is. It's no longer considered a felony to knowingly transmit HIV in California. It is now considered the same as all other STDs in the eyes of the law. And I just thought that this was really, you know, obviously this was eye-catching because I come from the generation of the 80s where, you know, I remember the fear and everything attached to that. But what it said is now, instead of facing 8 years in prison, anyone convicted of knowingly transmitting HIV will serve a maximum of 6 months behind bars. And why they said this is because medicine has come so far, the advances in medicine have come so far that now, as long as the person who has been diagnosed with HIV, as long as they're taking their medicine regimen on a daily basis, it is they can no longer transmit HIV. And it's no longer considered a death sentence for people who are diagnosed with it.
Okay. I'm going to let you take this first.
So if you're convicted of this, they're saying now the maximum is 6 months in jail?
6 months instead of 8 years in prison. And, you know, the supporters of this are saying that this now allows people who know that they have HIV to come forward and to actually be treated rather than being treated like a criminal.
So this is a prevention?
Yes, they consider this, the supporters of it think that it will help prevent the spread. The opponents, though, think that it will increase high-risk behavior, therefore spreading the disease. So that's the difference.
Look, I'm a little bit on the fence with this myself because of what the opponents are saying.
Right.
Basically, if you are HIV and you knowingly have sex with someone unprotected, it's allowing you to be unprotected now, knowing you won't go to jail for 8 years.
Yes.
Do you see what I'm trying to say here? Let me finish on this one because I want to be very careful with my wording. I also understand that it's no longer a death sentence. But even if you have another form of STD, aren't you morally obligated to tell the person you're sleeping with that you have these STDs?
But when we're talking morally, sometimes that can just be civilly in court, not criminally, where you hear this all the time, celebrities being sued for spreading
look at Usher right
STDs.
now.
Usher right now.
But
so that's civilly.
But he's being sued financially.
Yeah, so in civil court. So I think when you're saying morally, it gets into that gray area.
Yeah. But look, I have to be honest with you. as an openly gay man, if I have the right to ask someone, but I have to be honest, if you aren't in a relationship and you aren't maybe committed to that person, you should be having safe sex anyway.
Right.
Gay, straight, whatever. I worry about this as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, because
Right.
there are different strands of HIV as well.
Right.
I don't know. I think if you knowingly spread that to someone else, you should go to jail.
Yeah,
because
I think
just
so.
for having HIV or any other diseases, I don't agree with the argument of you're treated as a criminal, because you're not. You could privately deal with the disease,
Yes.
and that's fine. No one's treating you like a criminal. But if you're going to deceive someone else and put that at risk,
That's the point.
then yes. But
Right.
I don't think people. It's not as stigmatized anymore
No.
with HIV. You're not treated as a criminal if you want to keep that private. But if you want to go out and have sex with other people, then you should be held accountable for what you know you have. I think you should go to jail.
I think that's the difference, and that is on all STDs.
yeah,
Do you know what
I think you
mean?
should go to jail.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there is issues.
So-
Hey, tell us what you think. Hopefully our Emily's put them up on our Facebook pages. Yes, they did.
It's
They just
on there.
Nodded away to me. So tell us what you think about this. What's the law in Kentucky? Where do we stand?
That's a good question. I looked that up, and what it says is there is no specific criminal law regarding this issue in Kentucky. Kentucky has prosecuted individuals for failing to disclose their HIV positive status to sexual partners under the wanton endangerment statute. So
Yeah.
that's where they can go
Yeah.
to jail.
Interesting. Okay, tell us what you think. Head over to Midday Kentucky's Facebook page. Got to lighten it up a little bit, my friend.
Yes.
Dinner time. What are you saying about dinner time, our favourite time of the day?
I just saw a couple of blogs online that I wanted to bring to your attention. I feel like I'm reading a lot of blogs. We always say, Lisa, you like the studies. I'm reading a lot of blogs lately. And this is talking about how we view dinner time here in the U.S. And there was a photographer who went across the U.S., and I think we have some of the pictures to show you, that was just photographing what dinner is like in different states. And they said,
Different states of America.
different states in America,
Okay.
and they're just random people that she came
That's me,
across.
every night.
You're by yourself. Maybe at your table, maybe you're not. And they're saying that it's believed that the American ideal is to have a home cooked meal with your family around the table, but she said she really didn't find that. And we have some more to show you. But then I came across something else saying that people are increasingly doing away completely with their dining room tables and dining room in general. So I kind of wanted to pose to you both. Do you think
This will be me and you in our 70s.
yeah, that's
couple
me
of
now,
golden
but
girls.
I'm alone.
Yeah, that's the pizza on the flower stand.
Perfect.
That's me and you watching Will and Grace.
Yeah. So what do
That's
you think?
me.
And Lisa, I guess you're the only one here
With family.
With a family.
Well, she eats out a lot.
Yeah,
Well,
but
this
do you
is-
think how many nights a week do you think people should be sitting down together at the dinner table? And what do you think?
Where are these pictures coming from? I don't know.
This is real life,
They are
Troy. This is
That's
life.
me in a caftan. My Lord.
That's so funny. Yeah, you know what? We've gotten rid of our dining room
Don't
table.
say that.
We did. We got rid of the dining room table. We still have our kitchen table.
Okay.
But it was interesting when you brought this up. I'm like, yeah, it's changed a lot. From when I was a kid, we did have dinners basically every night at the kitchen table. And we didn't have a dining room, but we had the kitchen. So there, it's interesting because, yeah, we've backed off a lot off of our eating together as a family. It's like, it's kind of everybody, well, my kids are picky, and so I have to make different things for different ones or buy different things at the drive-thru.
What do you think the norm is? How many nights a week do you think
Oh my
would
gosh.
you aim to
Look,
have?
we would like to
I would say
continue
1, 2,
chatting
3.
to this, but
Oh, 3 nights.
we have to run. I'm going to get in
Okay.
trouble. We're
3 nights a
live,
week.
people. I've got to do my whoopee. We'll be right back, everyone, after this short break. You're watching Midday Kentucky.